So, but this is the list of countries where the people who are living in those countries have the highest buying power. So this is a list where the people that are living in those countries that you see have the highest buying power. So, and that is something, because the list of where they have the highest average income, there are Monaco wins and there are some parts wins. But in this country, the average person has the most money to spend. Now you can say, hey, but people in Luxembourg are rich. I agree with you that they are extremely rich, but an apartment that costs in Amsterdam, let's say 500,000, costs in Monaco 5 million. So the power of money, the spending power of the money is you in Amsterdam, yeah, for 500,000 you buy the same as for 5 million in Monaco. So that means when you have $1 million available, you get a way bigger, more beautiful apartment in Amsterdam than in Monaco. But when you take the same money to, for example, Ireland or Norway, you get even a way bigger house than in Amsterdam. Now, this list is the average person in that country. What is he able to spend? And from that point of view, you see that Qatar is the number one. Last year, Luxembourg was the number one, but Qatar and Luxembourg are very close to each other, so they switch sometimes. So what is important as well to understand, good, everybody is muted, so otherwise we listen to the private conversations. And I was once, I have to say you guys, because in a Zoom, always be careful what you do, because I once was in a Zoom where a lady from an Arab country was looking and was participating in the Zoom, and then the husband came in, and can you imagine how horrible this can be for that lady? The lady was all dressed, you could only see the eyes, but the husband felt so comfortable that he's in the house. He came behind her and he lifted the breast. He grabbed her and she was like, oh, but the husband had no clue that she was in the Zoom. So she gets angry and she forgets completely that she was in the Zoom. And she started to hit him, take the chair, lift it, hit him. And I was like, wow, she has no clue that we are all looking at that. So be careful what you do in the Zoom. And even when you're in the background, be careful what you operate over there. So this is an important thing. So the top 10 countries where the value of the money is the highest to spend is number 1, Qatar, number 2, Luxembourg, number 3, Singapore, number 4, Brunei, number 5, Kuwait, number 6, Norway, number 7, United Arab Emirates, number 8, Ireland, number 9, San Marino, and number 10, Switzerland. Wow, look at that. So we know, of course, that the people in those countries are average rich, that the average income is high, but it doesn't mean you don't see Monaco in this list. You don't see some parts in this list. You know why? Because in their countries, everything is so extremely expensive that the people in Qatar have more buying power with their money than the people in Monaco. And you will see soon that the average income in Qatar is not one of the highest in on the list. They would not come in the top 10 of highest income, because their income is good, but the buying power, what they can do with that money, and not everybody has an income. A country where people are a lot of entrepreneurs, that is not an average income anymore, because that is not a salary. Sometimes you cannot measure that. There are a lot of people in the world, we estimate that they have so much billion, but nobody knows exactly how rich is the owner of L'Oréal de Paris, because it's a private company. Nobody in the world owns exactly what the people in network marketing are having or earning, because in network marketing it's all commissionable. People have an estimation. They can say, yeah, you never know who has how many bitcoins. Can you imagine that you have bitcoins and they have a value of 30,000, and a week later they have a value of 60,000? Yeah, then that person is overnight way more rich. Now, out of this top 10, I'm going to go into two countries. I will take Qatar and Singapore. So now you understand, by having one of those regions up front already, those people have a lot of buying power. So that means you can expect from the people in that country that whatever we build in that country, they have no problems using the money. So they have a lot of money available to spend for whatever is there online. And of course, Qatar and Luxembourg as well and Singapore are extremely IT minded. So whatever new things come, they are always able to invest in it and be part of it. So here we go. Qatar, number one in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Qatar, and these are here you see already a little bit of Qatar. Capital is Doha. 2.8 million people with the highest buying power in the world. The average income is 5,308. That's the salary wise. There are only 2,500 units. Is that correct? Let me see, because I think I want to see this for security reasons. Because my son, we had different models on it. And I want to make sure that we don't make a mistake. Access the product. It takes a little, I want to see, because I'm not sure if this is correct. Maybe it's correct, maybe not. Germany, Canada, Singapore. I already saw it's not correct. No, the units, he took something, I don't know why, but Qatar has only 1,000 units, ladies and gentlemen. So correct this, because I was shocked. I said, hey, the price per unit is 1,000, but it has only 1,000 units. So 1,000 units with a population of 2.8 million, and actually the people that have the highest buying power in the world. So only from this 2.5 million people, and think about that, ladies and gentlemen, 2.5 million people that have an average income of over 5,000 euro. But you know what? The people possibly invested their money wisely, because I have seen the list. Those people in Qatar have at least 20,000 euro available to spend on a monthly base. So that's not the average income, the average salary, but that's what they have available to spend. The 2.8 million people have an average of around 20,000 euro to spend on a monthly base. Think about that. So let them rent the apartment, let them buy something, let them have an expensive car, let them have a couple of other things, let them have a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen, and then let's look what is left over. What is left over? So they have extremely amounts of money available for investing, and that's what they do. They invest in a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. They have as well a lot of money available for buying luxury goods, doing experiences. And the people in Qatar are ahead of the game when it comes to virtual reality. They love it very much. I have seen many people in Qatar, in Doha, walking around with the glasses, enjoying it, having the experiences. So it is even logical to and that's what I want you to do now. Now we are going to calculate, and the disclaimer is that this is not what the country says or that you have to do, but you have you have in your back office, you have that income calculator. Now let's presume that the average person in Qatar is able to spend, I would say 1,000 euro, but let's take 10% of it. Let's say that they are able to spend 100 euro monthly on virtual reality experiences or shoppings in the view. So let's say 100 euro. Now, 100 euro times 2.8 million people. Why I do the average? Of course, I know as well that not everybody will do it. But, you know, there will be people maybe spending 1,000 or 2,000. And there will be people spending nothing. But let's make an assumption of 100 euro. That means that 2.8 million times 100 euro. How much is that? How much do you get? According to me, it's, let me see, yes, it's 280 million. 280 million, ladies and gentlemen. That means that the people in Qatar, so no tourists, no nothing else from the outside world, just the people from Qatar at a certain moment in time, at a certain moment in that, what I showed you before. You remember what I showed you before? No, it's not there. It's somewhere here. At a certain moment in time, in this time frame, they will come on board, okay? They will come on board. And we talk about Qatar. Hey, how beautiful is it that they can move one training into the other? Wow. This is already virtual reality on itself. I feel like, you know, I could not imagine 1 year ago that I could do this. Honestly, guys, you know, I was an absolute catastrophe in doing Zooms and calls. You know, at a certain moment, my friend Peter had to throw me out. He said, Igor, you make such a mess out of it. You do everything wrong that I have to protect you against yourself and throw you out of the call. I said, okay. And, you know, I start to learn. But now I always hope that it works and that I end up at the good part. But I can now move from one to the other. So somewhere in this time frame, it will happen that there comes a turnover of 280 million in Qatar, only from the people living in Qatar. And you can imagine that their average buying power will only go up because those people have so much more money available for opportunities, for investments, that, you know, with money you make money. You can imagine when you need 5,000, but you have available 20,000. With 5,000, you can live a luxury life, and another 10,000 you invest, and within a certain period, it even enlarges your buying power. And you know, they understand pretty well how to do that in Qatar. So, 280 million. Take 5% of that turnover. 5% of the turnover of 280 million. How much is that? So we are going to divide it. I will do it together with you so that we are on the same scale. 2,8. This is 280,000. 10, 100,000. A million, 10 million, 100 million. Divide it by 100 times 5 is, we talk about, it's a lot of money, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million. We talk about 14 million, ladies and gentlemen. 14 million euro. I you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel free to step in and say, hey, Mr. Alberts, you know, you make a mistake. Yeah, can be, because, you know, mistakes are made. And you know what I always say? Some children said to me, Daddy, I'm so good I don't make mistakes. I said, then you're a lazy bastard. Because only lazy people that don't work, they don't make mistakes. But people that work hard, they make mistakes. People that work very hard, they make very much mistakes. And people that really work their butts off and that are going and going, they will make more mistakes. I'm the guy that makes a lot of mistakes, but you know what? That's the result. And when it comes to an average, as long as I'm able to pick it up and learn from it, it's getting better. So we are talking about 14 million. 14 million coming out into the pool, into your regional pool. When you are having a unit of Qatar, and I told you already, the 2,500, forget it, it's 1,000. 1,000 units are there. That means that 14 million divided by 1,000. Hey, you didn't at Qatar yet, isn't it? You spent 1,000 euro, and according to my calculation, and correct me if I'm wrong, it brings you 14,000 euros every month, every single month. Just when the people of Qatar spend only 100 euro in the view, based on the 7 pillars that we showed you, based on travel and tourism over there, based on shopping experience, based on advertising, based on education, based on... And so far, we are not only the number one in the world building this type of business, but we are the only one. Nobody had the guts to build it. Nobody knew how to do it. And we are ahead of the game. You know, honestly, just yesterday, we opened a new floor in our building in Amsterdam, a special floor for the view. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many people working. You would be so incredibly proud and excited. All your fears, all your, yeah, but what if, would disappear when you saw yesterday the quality of people. You will be shocked. We have a lot of young people working, but as well, we have people that work for Pixar, that worked for Hollywood production, that worked for huge companies that are having, you know, they are from the beginning of virtual reality, from the beginning of info technology, they were part of it, and they are ahead of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, we get every single day people that want to be part of our journey, ladies and gentlemen, as well as the network marketing part, our part, as well as the company part that want to see our company say, wow, what is this? What is this view? Can I become part of the organization? Can I deliver my quality, my independent ideas into this new universe, into this new world? And when you see what we are creating, wow, you know, for me, it's not a matter if this happens. It happens. It will happen. For me, that 100 euro per average person is just, I really believe that at a certain moment they will spend 1,000. 1,000. Remember that I said it. You know, when it happens in the next 15 years, that you are viewing of Qatar, and that you remember that, and then people will ask you, your children or grandchildren. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Who of you has grandchildren already that are little? You know, I have them. They are little. I have children that are little, and I have grandchildren. Can you imagine that, Graciela, that your grandchildren, they are coming to you and they say, grandmother, how in heaven's name did you get so rich? I heard from Mama how you started, how you were as a mother. How can it be that you are a multi-millionaire, grandmother? How you did it? And then the answer that you give them, yes, my grandchild, yes, love of my life. I listened to a couple of people, friends of mine, that introduced me to Success Factory. You know, that company that is now the biggest company on the planet. And you know, when your grandmother joined it, it was not even in the top 1,000 of the biggest companies. It was a company growing like crazy, but there was nowhere compared to where it is, what you know. And then they say, but grandmother, is it true that you made the fortune with the view that everybody knows and that everybody talks about? And that, you know, let's say that in 15 years, the view is equal at least to Facebook or Instagram. I think it will be more recognizable and bigger than Instagram, Facebook, and Amazon together. But that's my opinion. That's what I really believe. And then they say, is that where you made it? Yeah, you know, I was on a meeting and I listened to a guy, you know, that you may be known from movies or things, Mr. Igor Albert, and he advised me to buy Qatar. And I bought a couple of things of Qatar. And yeah, at the moment, Qatar has a value of, you know, those units have values of millions. And it's making me on a daily base 14,000, 1,400, 14,000 on a yearly base, maybe 140,000, maybe 1.4 million. You never know where it ends up. But can you imagine that with only 100 euro, you already make 14,000 in my example? And we didn't do nothing yet. We not even started. We didn't do nothing about tourism and other things that are happening over there. This is an amazing thing, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how you must think. And that's why I would highly recommend you, as long as this offer is valid, that besides you can allocate to Qatar and get a region, that you are able to allocate as well, that you get the universal units. And let me see exactly how it is right now, because I like those facts and statistics. Out of the 1,000, only 102 are sold, ladies and gentlemen. So means only 10% is sold. Can you imagine that nobody is aware of this gigantic volume that can come out of Qatar? Means as well that you have an opportunity for you and the people that you love to attend them on Qatar and to show them what can happen to the units. Because, of course, I understand that we all think about Germany and Japan, but remember that Germany, when you look at Germany, for example, Germany has way more units, like Canada has a great one, but you share it with 4,000. Over here, you share it only with 1,000 people. That when you want to go to Japan, you share with 3,500 people. When you want to go to Germany, 3,500 people. But over here, Qatar, with such an enormous buying power, only 1,000 people. That's how it's very easy to I don't want to say the word, but I have to, you know, because I think 15, 20 years from now is quick rich. That is part of, that is a generation that when you can get this in 15, 20 years, this is a fortune maker, ladies and gentlemen. It's making a difference. Now, besides this is only what we can expect from the people in Qatar. So let me go on. There are, of course, things in Qatar, and I want to share that with you. The Pearl, Doha, Corniche, Aspire Park, Banana Island, Qatar Cultural Village. Now, my son made it so that you get a little idea of what we're talking about. So this is one of the highlights of Qatar to visit. Besides that, you saw already in the first sheet that Qatar is such a beautiful. It's having the desert, but it as well is like Dubai, ladies and gentlemen, only on a littler scale. Now, a littler but richer scale. So we have the Pearl to visit for people. We have as well the Doha Corniche. So that's an area where you can do tours and round tours, and it's a very luxury place to go to. You have Aspire Park where it's a park of science where things will be shown that you are not aware of, that they already exist. You have and here, when you look at this Banana Island, you know, did you ever expect this? These are over the water bungalows. Where do you think this is? When I would not say to you, when I would not talk about Qatar, where do you thought this would be? Type it in the chat. I want to know. Where does this look like that you are? I want to see. Write it in the groups, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit interaction is always good. So, where do you think this is? What impression do you get? Maldives, yes. Maldives. It could be that this is one of the islands of the Maldives. Yes. Again, Maldives. Yeah, Maldives. What do you think about Bora Bora or Tahiti or French Polynesia? What do you think about the Seychelles? It looks like it's somewhere there. Are you agreeing with me? It looks like it's somewhere there. But no, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new economy. Qatar has seen it's always good weather. Qatar is investing in tourism like the United Arab Emirates did. They are investing a lot of money in big potential high visited tourism section. So out of that vertical of tourism, can you imagine when they start building this? This will attract a lot of people. The prices are extremely good. Qatar is easy reachable. Qatar Airlines flies from every big airport, every head capital in the world, straight into Qatar. And it's a beautiful place to be. They make special agreements for these regions where you can be sunbathing, and you know, they have their rules and regulations, but they understand, like the United Arab Emirates, that to attract tourism from all over the world, you must be free in some parts. So they make this Banana Island, and it's the beginning of a huge project. They have the Qatar Cultural Village, visited by many people, by many traditional people, by many religious people, and it is really a place where people can go. And Qatar is as well, and you see that Qatar has something unique, because Qatar is acceptable for the Western world, is acceptable for the Arab world, and it has the unique part that as well, the way the Islam is in Saudi Arabia as well, the way the Islam is in Iran, it both welcomes the entire world. So Qatar is a unique place. It has its rules and regulations, but it has a tremendous potential on different areas. So on the shopping area, on the tourism area, on the educational area, on the economic, on the business area. So it's not that hard in the future to make a fortune with Qatar, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to leave Qatar, and I immediately I fly a little bit further on the planet, because I fly from Qatar into Singapore. And yes, like I told you in the beginning, Singapore is number 3 on the world. So there's not a lot of difference between Qatar, Luxembourg, and Singapore. There's not a lot of difference between Brunei, Kuwait, Norway, and the United Arab Emirates. But Singapore is in the same range as Luxembourg and as Qatar. Singapore is the number 3 in the world. It's deeper into Asia. So, and you see Singapore has more people, has 5.7 million people. The average income is a little bit lower than in Qatar, but I have to say to you that their buying power is only 1,000 euro less. So where Qatar had around 20,000 buying power per month, Singapore has a buying power of 19,000. And that is because the prices of houses and goods are a little bit more expensive in Singapore than in Qatar. But you must remember also that Singapore has 5.7 million people. Now, do the same thing, I would say, and Singapore has not 2,500 units. Singapore has 1,200 units. Singapore has 1,200 units, ladies and gentlemen. Only 200 more. Now we do the same thing for Singapore than we do for Qatar. I can easily say that in Singapore is even more digital than Qatar, and it's not over the top to assume that Singapore would have in years from now in one of those areas that people spend 100 euro up to 1,000 euro easily monthly in the view, and they still have a lot of money left over to spend. People in Singapore are hardworking, are investing people, are very entrepreneurial, and an opportunity like the view is their thing. And they are the closest, actually, they are the gateway to Australia and Oceania, but as well, they are very close by and very influenced by the number 1 or 2 economy in the world, China. So a lot of extremely rich Chinese people, they move to Singapore and they know the value of virtual reality. So do the same calculation. 5.7 million people spending just 100 euro per month in the view. We talk about, how much do we talk about? We talk about 570 million. Now, let's do the calculation on that. 570,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million, divided by times 5 means, well, be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful for this. This goes out of order. That when I do the same calculation, and I have the guts to do it because Singapore and Qatar and Luxembourg are in the same area, that when you look at the buying power for the view of the people in Singapore, when 5.7 million average only spend 100 euro, you get 570 million. Then honestly, that means that 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, that 28.5 million is coming every single month to the unit holders of Singapore. Means there are not 1,000, but there are 1,200. So divided by 1,200. Are you ready? Are you sitting on your chair, ladies and gentlemen? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but my calculation shows this. That somewhere in this period, in this timeline, this could be your reality. Looking at an income of 23,750 euro because you are viewing of Singapore. Now, I'm not Merlin the magician. I'm not Jules Verne. I only know that the best way to predict the future is to create it. That's why I'm working hard and smart, and I like you to be at my side because teamwork makes the dream work. But by having Singapore, this could be your potential result, ladies and gentlemen. This could become your reality. And I'm showing you that because I really believe that this is a huge possibility. And I believe that this could be the reality of your future life. So don't be angry at me when it's only 15,000. Don't be angry at me when it becomes 40,000. Don't be angry with me when it only becomes 20,000 or 10,000. We don't know exactly, I assume, but you know, mostly with this type of things, the future is faster than you think. It comes mostly faster than you think, and it comes way higher than you think. I've noticed in my life, you know, when I bought my first Bitcoins, people said, yeah, you know, when it can become 100 euro, it's very good. And then people start to talk about, you know, when it can become 1,000. Whoa, when it can become 1,000. Can you imagine? You buy it for 3-4 euro and it can become 1,000. Whoa, hallelujah. And people said, no, but it can become 10,000. No, that is ridiculous. Something that had no value, that is just not really existing. It's only existing in the virtual world. Can become 10,000. Which idiot is going to pay for that? You know, but you know what is the reality of today? The reality of today is, and I always look at it because I like to look at things. So the reality of that weird idea is that today the value of those things that not everybody believed in is over 40,000 euro. Can you imagine that you bought it for 4 euro? It is too ridiculous for words, but it happens. And you know, maybe today you think, Mr. Albert, you are out of your mind. Cannot be that this brings me, let's go back to what the calculator told me, that this is going to bring me 23,000. Cannot be. But what if I'm right? What if I'm wrong? What if it doesn't bring 23, but 230,000? Because the people in Singapore don't spend 100, but they spend maybe 1,000. Can be all true. Can be, you know, the disclaimer is there. You know, it is up to you what you believe. It's up to you of your calculation. But think about that we are living, that we are creating an impossible reality, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go over a little bit. What can you do? Because I think Singapore is even more famous than Qatar at the moment. Marina Bay Sands, Sentosa. Hey, Universal Studios. Yeah, there you go. Singapore Flyer, Marina Bay Streets. Oh, that's a beautiful one. That I come back. This is Singapore, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. You have seen this. It's one of the most known hotels in the world. This is spectacular. Can you imagine that we rebuilt this hotel virtually and you can sleep a night over in it? You can visit it. You can be in that pool because what you see on top, what looks like a surfboard, is actually a pool, an infinity pool. It's the most spectacular pool it's one of the most spectacular pools in the world because I was just in the United Arab Emirates. And there was that Palm Hotel, the St. Regis, and that was a spectacular hotel, swimming pool too. So it's extremely spectacular, and it's worth visiting. And I really think that only a hotel like this will get 10,000s, maybe 100,000s of visitors every day that buy a ticket to see it go around. You know, can you imagine that we are going to rebuild this virtually in the view? How many people will visit this? And then look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Sentosa. These are districts, ladies and gentlemen. You see already on the waters and the things that there's so much possible in Singapore that look at this Universal. This will be visited by hundreds of thousands of people. It has everything that Universal has to offer. So means there is castles, there is that Harry Potter scene, there is everything that Universal Studios are creating, and that's a big movie company is available over there. So this is another source of income that comes from there. And then look at this. This is something, the wheel of Singapore. As well, Singapore has a cable thing that you go up the hill. It is all, Singapore is a city state. It's considered the most cleanest city in the world because you don't find garbage on the ground. Only for this, hundreds or thousands, 10,000, 100,000, maybe even million people want to visit it and buy a ticket for this. And 5% of the revenue go to the unit holders. And then look at this, ladies and gentlemen. And we didn't have it in Qatar because in Qatar as well is this year a Formula One race. And when we are able to follow this and we are able to make a contract with them, and of course, maybe not today, but I'm pretty sure in the future we are able to do those things. Can you imagine that we are able to live broadcast this and that you are able to drive one of the cars that you are parked, that you are not able to see in front, but you're able to choose and move from car to car when you have a ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine that people pay €10 for a ticket and that maybe 50 or 100 million people are buying a ticket like that? And that comes once a year. That is a once a year opportunity. Yeah, but besides this, for example, Qatar, that I spoke about, they are having a Formula One race as well. And in Qatar is coming the football cup, the World Cup football. Can you imagine that we are able to contribute and record over there? How much money could come out of that? Then, besides what I already showed you, there's another income stream. So it's highly potentially there that, for example, Singapore could bring you a fortune, ladies and gentlemen. That Singapore could maybe, you paid only 1,000 for it. And when you look at the time frame, maybe between 23 and 26, it brings you 1,000 a year. Maybe between 26 and 29, it brings you 1,000 per month. Maybe between 29 and 32, it brings you 1,000 a week. Maybe between 32 and 35, it brings you 1,000 per day. Maybe even in 35, 37, it brings you 1,000 per hour. But this type of countries with less unit holders and high buying power, ladies and gentlemen, that have tremendous potential. Tremendous potential. Don't underestimate the power of the countries that are actually, let me see if I'm able to move it. Am I able to move this? No, I don't know why not. Why am I not able to move it? Can I not go up? Let's see. Yes, I'm able to go up. That when we talk about these countries, ladies and gentlemen, today I did Qatar and Singapore. I cannot talk about Luxembourg anymore because it's sold out. United Arab Emirates is sold out. San Marino, sold out. Switzerland, sold out. Is Brunei sold out already? I think too. I think Brunei is sold, but I'm not sure. But Brunei maybe is there. Luxembourg is sold out. Qatar is available. Singapore is available. I don't know about Kuwait. I'm going to look while we speak before I end this call. Let me see. Ireland is available. People underestimate Ireland too. But let me see. Yeah, Luxembourg sold out. San Marino, yes, sold out. Brunei, sold out. Norway, sold out. You have no chance anymore. It was game, set, match. Kuwait, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful. The unfortunate thing is that Kuwait doesn't give you extras in pools. But Kuwait, what counts for these countries counts for Kuwait as well. And Kuwait has 92% sold out already. So there are exactly as only 900 units, and there are only available 71 units. So with Kuwait, yeah, you can wait, but then you miss it. It's not available anymore. So from this list, only Kuwait 71 are available. Ireland, you can wait for. My honest opinion, you can wait for an offer. Ireland will come in the offer somewhere. But you cannot wait anymore with Qatar and Singapore because they have that tremendous offer. And I would love to see you going for it because I'm pretty sure that whatever I assumed, whatever I said, I don't know about this time frame exactly, but let's presume that the future is faster than we think, then that will be a tremendous future, ladies and gentlemen. And having said that, I love to go to the end of this presentation. I love this. We are building the world of tomorrow. Make sure that these countries become yours. I highly advise you. And I would ask you, when you buy them, put them in the groups. Show them that you do it. Make sure that when we do the next training, for sure, it will be next week. I don't know. Maybe I do something extra in the weekend as well. I don't know yet. I have to see because I have a lot of things to do. But make sure you have your team people on it. And I'm aware that it's now 10 o'clock. So when you were from Iran, when we started, I passed the time that you were in when we started. So can you imagine? I arrived at your reality 4 hours ago. I just passed that reality half an hour ago. I think for today, I'm very happy to have you here. I stop the screens. I come back to you. I see that I still have a group of very excited when I actually started this presentation with Qatar. I had 41, and now, after all the while, we have even 44 people directly, plus translators, and they have their own groups. I am proud of you being here. You did a smart thing. Make sure that when you want that your downline duplicates, they get aware of it, they follow the trainings, they start to understand the potential. Because the moment people understand the potential, then they are really able to duplicate and pay it forward. So from my point of view, strength and honor, because it's all about you. Create success for all. Be the change, and you will see what dreams may come. I love you. I see you on Sunday. Follow the groups. Maybe I do something on the Saturday. I don't know yet. Let's see what is happening. I like instant action, and make sure that you get your people on because they get stronger. They get the knowledge. They will get the skills. They will get the confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, work hard and work smart. I love you. Success Factory is the place to be, to explore your wealth and to become financial independent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Igor.
Well done. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for being smart and wise in here. And
Thank you, Igor. Thank you very much.
see you soon, friends.
Gracias, Igor.
Thank you, Igor. I already recorded and I will share it. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you for recording. Thank you so much. Please share with us.
Sure.
Thank you.
I hope the recording comes to my Nigerian group.
I will put it in YouTube that everybody can use it without saving in the phone. It takes a lot of storage.
Yeah.
Can I give you
that's
an
true.
advice? Make sure that your teams are on these calls because we talk about countries and it would be a little bit painfully when they get the recording and the country is sold out. You understand what I mean? That they get excited about the training. It's like that I now show you the training about Bali and then you figure out that it's sold out. So my advice is always be live on the calls, be someday always there because you're the first one that can take advantage of it. You know, when we brought the double the units, it took only I think 10 minutes and Switzerland was sold out. So can you imagine? And this is the type of this is where we let you to know what's going to happen. This is where you get the new information. And by putting it in groups, you make it a little bit easy for people to take it under and they do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Calls like this are actually mandatory when you really want to approach your business professional. And I know it will take time, but hey, everything takes time in life. You know, taking a bath takes you time as well, but will not make you money. But I hope that the information of today is going to make you a fortune, ladies and gentlemen.
It's 100% right, Igor. So basically, my friends all are at work here in Canada. It's work time, so I just share it with them and let them know that how amazing it was. And then I guess it gives more motivation to them to be in the next calls. Thank you so much.
Thank you again for being here. I'm closing the chat now, and I see you soon.
Yo, thank you
Ciao.
once again.
Thank you, and wish a great evening.
Love you all. Bye bye.